According to Edgar Cayce, the renowned American clairvoyant and mystic often called the sleeping prophet, when a cat chooses you, it's far from random chance. Throughout his 40-year career and over 14,000 documented psychic readings, Cayce repeatedly addressed the spiritual significance of animals in human lives. He believed that animals, particularly cats, possess an extraordinary sensitivity to vibrational energies that humans cannot perceive. In his readings, he explained that cats are drawn to people whose energy they can help balance or heal, creating connections that transcend our limited understanding of companionship. The cat, Cayce stated in reading 25471, is the most psychic of all animals, attuned to realms and frequencies beyond ordinary human perception. He described cats as beings that exist partially in other dimensions, capable of seeing energetic fields and spiritual entities invisible to the human eye. This unique perception allows them to identify humans whose energy fields are compatible with their own or who need the specific energy the cat carries. This ancient wisdom has been echoed across cultures for centuries, lending credence to Cayce's insights. The Egyptians revered cats as sacred beings with connections to the afterlife, embodied in their goddess Bastet, who represented protection, fertility, and motherhood. In ancient Egyptian homes, the death of a family cat was mourned with elaborate rituals, including mummification and periods of mourning where family members would shave their eyebrows as a sign of grief. Archaeological discoveries have revealed entire cat cemeteries with thousands of mummified cats, demonstrating their spiritual significance. Japanese folklore speaks of cats as guardians against evil spirits. The Maneki Neko, beckoning cat figurine with its raised paw, is believed to invite good fortune and prosperity into homes and businesses. In Japanese mythology, cats were thought to have the power to transform into human forms and protect their chosen families from supernatural threats. Celtic traditions viewed them as keepers of secrets between worlds. In Celtic mythology, cats were associated with the otherworld and were believed to guard the gates between realms. The Celtic goddess Cleriddwen was often depicted with cats as her companions, emphasizing their connection to magic, transformation, and spiritual wisdom. But it was Cayce who articulated a more nuanced understanding. Cats recognize souls they've known before, carrying memories of past lives more vividly than humans do. In reading 3645-1, Cayce explained, animals, especially those of higher intelligence such as cats, retain conscious connection to their soul experiences across lifetimes. When a cat is drawn to a specific person, it is often recognizing a soul it has encountered before, perhaps in another form or time. When a cat appears unexpectedly in your life and refuses to leave, Cayce suggested it wasn't merely seeking food or shelter. It was answering a higher calling, recognizing something in your soul that needed healing, protection, or awakening. This recognition operates beyond the physical senses in what Cayce termed the superconscious, that part of ourselves connected to universal consciousness and higher dimensions of reality. The unexpected appearance of a cat in someone's life often coincides with periods of significant transition or spiritual awakening. Many people report that cats arrived at precisely the moment they were dealing with grief, making major life decisions, or beginning a spiritual practice. Cayce explained that this timing isn't coincidental, but reflects the cat's attunement to shifts in a person's energy field that signal readiness for the cat's particular influence. In one documented case from Cayce's readings, a woman who had recently lost her husband found a stray cat persistently appearing at her door. When she consulted Cayce, he revealed that the cat was drawn to the energetic void created by her grief and was attempting to provide balancing energies to support her healing. This phenomenon occurs countless times across the world, cats appearing precisely when their chosen humans most need their unique energy. Cayce's readings frequently described cats as natural energy healers, with an innate ability to detect and address imbalances in the human energy field. This healing ability operates on multiple levels: physical, emotional, and spiritual, making cats uniquely equipped to support human well-being in ways science is only beginning to understand. On the physical level, Cayce noted that a cat's purring vibrates at frequencies between 25 and 150 Hz, precisely the range shown in modern research to promote healing in bone, muscle, and soft tissue. These vibrations stimulate cellular regeneration, reduce inflammation, and promote the release of healing hormones in both the cat and nearby humans. Remarkably, scientific studies conducted decades after Cayce's death have confirmed that frequencies within this range accelerate healing and improve bone density, validating his intuitive knowledge. The vibrations created by a cat's purr, Cayce explained in reading 1562-1, harmonize discordant energies in the human body, particularly affecting the nervous system and endocrine glands. He described how cats instinctively position themselves against areas of the body where energy is blocked or imbalanced, using their purring to help restore proper energy flow. This is why cats often sleep on their owners' chests, abdomens, or areas affected by illness or pain. The therapeutic effects of these vibrations extend beyond physical healing. Cayce described how the rhythmic pattern of purring helps entrain human brainwaves to more coherent patterns, reducing anxiety and promoting mental clarity. Modern research has shown that the sound frequencies of cat purring can lower blood pressure, reduce stress hormones, and trigger the release of endorphins, effects that Cayce attributed to the harmonizing of human energy fields. Beyond their purring, Cayce believed cats possess electromagnetic properties that interact with the human biofield. The fur of a cat, he stated in reading 2987-1, generates electromagnetic charges that help dissipate static buildup in the human energy field. This electromagnetic interaction helps clear energetic blockages and restore proper flow of life force through the body's subtle energy channels. The uncanny ability of cats to detect illness in humans has been documented in modern times, supporting Cayce's assertions about their sensitivity to energy imbalances. Oscar, a therapy cat in a Rhode Island nursing home, gained fame for his ability to sense when residents were about to die, providing comfort in their final hours. His accuracy was so remarkable that staff began using his behavior as an indicator to notify family members when a patient's death was imminent. Similarly, numerous cases exist of cats persistently pawing at specific areas of their owners' bodies, leading to the discovery of cancers or tumors. In one well-documented case, a woman's cat repeatedly pawed and kneaded at her breast in the same spot, leading her to discover a malignant tumor that might otherwise have gone undetected until much later stages. From Cayce's perspective, the cat wasn't detecting the physical tumor itself, but the energetic disruption it created in the woman's field. These behaviors align with Cayce's assertion that cats are drawn to energy imbalances. They don't simply love us, they work to heal us. On levels science is only beginning to understand. Cayce explained that cats are particularly attuned to imbalances in what he called the etheric body, the template of vital energy that surrounds and interpenetrates the physical body. Disruptions in this etheric field often precede physical manifestations of disease, allowing cats to detect problems before they become clinically apparent. In reading 31731, Cayce described how a cat chooses its sleeping position based on where its healing energies are most needed. The entity cat senses where life forces are weakened and naturally moves to those areas to strengthen the flow of vital energy. This explains why cats often change their preferred sleeping locations when their owners experience health changes. They are responding to shifts in the energy field that require different types of healing input. For people dealing with chronic conditions, Cayce suggested that a cat's healing presence operates continuously, gradually restoring proper energy patterns even when the cat and person are simply sharing the same space. The cat absorbs excess or discordant energies and transmutes them, a process Cayce likened to energetic filtration. Many people with conditions like fibromyalgia, autoimmune disorders, or chronic pain report significant improvement in symptoms after a cat enters their life, an effect Cayce would attribute to this ongoing energetic rebalancing. Beyond physical healing, Cayce spoke extensively about cats' role as emotional guardians. His readings suggested that cats are particularly attracted to people experiencing grief, depression, or emotional trauma. They seem to recognize the energetic signature of a broken heart and are compelled to offer their unique form of support. Cats, Cayce explained in reading 1438-2, are drawn to emotional wounds like moths to a flame, not to exploit vulnerability, but to help repair tears in the emotional body. This emotional body, one of the subtle energy fields Cayce described as surrounding the physical form, carries the imprints of our emotional experiences and patterns. When this field is damaged through trauma or prolonged negative emotions, it creates what Cayce called energy vacuums that can drain vital life force if left unaddressed. In one notable reading, Cayce told a widow that the stray cat that had appeared at her door following her husband's death was not merely coincidence, but a spiritual response to her grief. The cat, he explained, was drawn to the vacancy in her energetic field and was attempting to provide balance during her healing process. The animal, he stated, brings energies complementary to those depleted by grief, helping to seal the energetic wounds and prevent further life force depletion. This explanation offers insight into why cats often seem to appear in people's lives following significant losses or during periods of emotional distress. The energetic disruption created by these experiences acts as a beacon that draws cats sensitive to that particular type of imbalance. Different cats, according to Cayce, carry different energetic signatures, explaining why certain cats are drawn to specific individuals or emotional conditions. Modern psychological research has validated the therapeutic effect of pets on mental health, with studies showing reduced cortisol levels and increased oxytocin in people who interact with animals. One study from the University of Minnesota found that cat owners have a 30% lower risk of dying from heart attacks, which researchers attributed partly to the stress-reducing effects of cat companionship. These findings align with Cayce's assertions about cats' ability to help regulate human emotional states through energetic interaction. But Cayce's explanation went deeper than mere companionship or distraction from negative emotions. He suggested that cats actually help process and transmute difficult emotions, acting as energetic alchemists. The purring of a cat, he noted in reading 26731, helps break up condensed emotional energies, allowing them to be released from the body rather than becoming trapped and eventually manifesting as physical ailments. This emotional processing happens through what Cayce called vibrational entrainment, the tendency of one energy field to synchronize with another. When a cat chooses a person experiencing emotional distress, its stable, balanced energy field helps entrain the person's more chaotic emotions to a healthier pattern. Many cat owners report that simply stroking their cat during times of distress brings almost immediate emotional relief, an effect Cayce would attribute to this entrainment process. Cats seem to instinctively know when their chosen humans are experiencing emotional difficulty, often appearing to offer comfort at precisely the right moment. This timing reflects their sensitivity to subtle changes in the human energy field that accompany emotional shifts. The cat, Cayce explained, senses disruptions in the emotional body before they fully manifest in conscious awareness, allowing them to respond to emotional needs the person may not yet recognize. This anticipatory response explains why many people report their cats becoming especially attentive just before they experience an emotional breakdown or receive difficult news. The cat is responding not to the external event, but to the energetic precursors already present in the person's field. This sensitivity makes cats particularly valuable emotional guardians for people who have difficulty recognizing or expressing their own emotional states. For those suffering from conditions like depression or anxiety, Cayce suggested that cats provide a consistent, energetic anchor that helps prevent further deterioration. The regular presence of a cat, he stated in reading 32891, provides a stabilizing influence on erratic emotional energies, much like a metronome helps a musician maintain tempo. This stabilizing effect creates a foundation from which emotional healing can begin to occur naturally, particularly for people who have experienced trauma. Cats offer a form of emotional healing that respects boundaries and proceeds at the survivor's pace. Unlike many human interactions that may feel overwhelming or intrusive, a cat's presence provides comfort without demands or expectations. Cayce noted that this non-intrusive healing is especially valuable for those whose emotional wounds include breaches of trust or boundaries. Cayce often referred to cats as messengers between realms. In numerous readings, he suggested that cats exist simultaneously in physical and spiritual dimensions, allowing them to perceive realities invisible to human senses. This dual existence enables them to serve as conduits for spiritual messages or guidance. The cat, Cayce stated in reading 57493, maintains conscious awareness of both physical and spiritual realities at all times, unlike humans who typically access higher realms only during sleep or deep meditation. This continuous dual awareness allows cats to monitor activities in dimensions beyond physical perception and bring attention to energies or entities that might be influencing their chosen humans. This messenger role manifests in various ways. Many people report their cats staring intently at empty spaces or reacting to invisible movements, behaviors Cayce attributed to the cat's perception of spiritual entities or energy patterns. Rather than dismissing these behaviors as odd quirks, Cayce suggested paying attention to them as potential indicators of spiritual activity that might be relevant to the human's development. In reading 3087-1, Cayce explained, "The sudden alertness of a cat to seemingly nothing is often their response to the arrival of a guide or the activation of a spiritual influence meant to assist the human companion." He advised that noting when and where these reactions occur can provide insights into spiritual processes unfolding in one's life or environment. Beyond alerting humans to spiritual presences, Cayce believed cats sometimes serve as vessels through which spiritual guides can make their influence more tangible. The cat's physical form, he stated, provides a vehicle through which subtle spiritual energies can be stepped down to frequencies more easily perceived by humans. These soul contracts create what Cayce called resonant fields between the cat and human that facilitate the exchange of energy and information needed for both to fulfill their spiritual purposes. This resonance explains why people often report unusual synchronicities or telepathic communication with cats who have chosen them. The soul-level connection creates channels for non-verbal and energetic communication that bypass ordinary sensory limitations. This stepping down process allows spiritual influences that might otherwise be too refined for human perception to make contact through the medium of the cat's energy field. Many who have unexpectedly been chosen by a cat report significant, Life changes following the cat's arrival. A new perspective emerges, obstacles become surmountable, or they find themselves making decisions that lead to better life paths. According to Cayce, these changes aren't coincidental, but the result of subtle energetic shifts facilitated by the cat's presence and the spiritual influences it helps channel. One particularly striking example from Cayce's readings involved a woman who had been struggling to make a critical life decision. A stray cat appeared at her home and refused to leave. Shortly after allowing the cat to stay, she began having unusually vivid dreams, providing clear guidance about her decision. Cayce explained that the cat was serving as a conduit for spiritual, a guidance that had been attempting to reach her, but had previously been unable to penetrate her stressed and scattered energy field. The timing of a cat's appearance is rarely random. They often arrive during periods of transition or crisis, precisely when their unique energetic influence and connection to spiritual guidance is most needed. Cayce noted that major life transitions create openings in a person's energy field that make them more receptive to both spiritual influences and the catalytic energy cats provide. Their mysterious behaviors, staring at empty spaces, reacting to unseen movements, or becoming suddenly alert for no apparent reason, were, in Cayce's view, interactions with energies beyond human perception. He suggested that cats sometimes follow the movements of thought forms or emotional energies projected by their humans, making these invisible patterns visible through their reactions. In some readings, Cayce described cats as guardians of what he called etheric gateways, points where the veil between dimensions is naturally thinner. Certain locations, he explained in reading 2246/1, serve as natural portals between physical and spiritual realms. Cats are often drawn to these locations and help regulate the energies flowing through them. This guardian role explains why cats are often found sleeping in particular spots in a home, regardless of comfort or convenience. They are monitoring and managing energetic intersections. Cayce also suggested that cats sometimes choose people who are beginning to awaken psychically, but aren't yet consciously aware of their developing sensitivity. The cat, he stated, helps ground and stabilize expanding psychic awareness, preventing the disorientation that can accompany sudden opening of spiritual perception. Many people who develop intuitive or psychic abilities report that a cat entered their life shortly before these abilities began to manifest, providing a stabilizing presence during the challenging transition. This spiritual messenger role extends to dreams as well. Cayce described how cats can help facilitate meaningful dream experiences by stabilizing the energy body during sleep, allowing clearer access to spiritual guidance through the dream state. Many cat owners report more vivid, coherent dreams when their cat sleeps near them, an effect Cayce attributed to this stabilizing influence on the subtle bodies that remain active during sleep. Perhaps most intriguing in Cayce's readings was his concept of soul contracts between humans and animals. He proposed that before incarnating into physical form, souls make agreements to help each other's evolution. Some of these agreements involve cats and humans promising to find each other at specific points in their earthly journeys. Before entering physical existence, Cayce explained in reading 4128/1, souls create agreements with other souls, human and animal alike, to serve as catalysts, companions, teachers, and healers for each other at appointed times. These pre-birth agreements create energetic signatures that allow the souls to recognize each other when they meet in physical form, even though the conscious mind rarely remembers these arrangements. These soul contracts explain why some people who never considered themselves cat people suddenly find themselves inexplicably drawn to a specific cat who enters their life. The instant bond, the feeling of recognition, the sense that this particular cat was meant for them, All stem from pre-incarnation agreements to support each other's growth. In reading 56732, Cayce described the case of a man who had always disliked cats, yet found himself unaccountably drawn to a particular stray. The sole agreement between these two, Cayce explained, was made 3 lifetimes prior, when the animal entity helped guide the man, then a child lost in wilderness back to safety. The current lifetime connection serves to awaken spiritual awareness in the man, while providing the cat with experiences of trust and security it needs for its own evolution. These soul-level agreements often involve specific purposes that unfold gradually through the relationship. Cayce noted that the full significance of a cat choosing someone might not become apparent for months or even years, as the energetic patterns established by their connection gradually influence larger life patterns. Cayce believed these contracts could span multiple lifetimes, with cats and humans reuniting across different incarnations. This explains the immediate sense of familiarity many feel when their cat first chooses them, a recognition at the soul level that transcends physical appearance or conscious memory. The souls know each other, Cayce stated simply, even when the conscious minds do not recall their past connections. In some readings, Cayce described how cats sometimes incarnate specifically to help humans complete unfinished spiritual business from shared past lives. The animal, he explained in one case, carries energetic patterns familiar to the soul from another time, helping activate memories necessary for completing karmic patterns or reclaiming soul fragments lost during traumatic experiences in other lifetimes. This perspective offers insight into why certain cats seem to trigger profound psychological or spiritual processes in their chosen humans. Something in the cat's energy or behavior serves as a key that unlocks aspects of the person's psyche that need healing or integration. Many people report that after being chosen by a cat, they begin experiencing memories, insights, or emotional releases related to issues they hadn't previously been able to access or resolve. Cayce also described how some soul contracts between cats and humans involve the cat taking on aspects of the person's karmic burden. The animal, he stated in reading 1824-1, sometimes agrees to process certain energetic patterns on behalf of the human, particularly patterns that would be too overwhelming for the person to integrate directly. This sacrificial aspect of some cat-human relationships explains why cats sometimes develop illnesses that mirror their owners' psychological or spiritual issues. They are literally processing these energies through their own bodies. The recognition between souls with pre-existing contracts happens instantaneously, beyond rational consideration. Many people describe the moment of meeting their cat as one of immediate, undeniable connection, a knowing beyond logical assessment of the animal's characteristics or compatibility with their lifestyle. Cayce described this recognition as occurring at the level of what he called the superconsciousness, the aspect of mind that maintains awareness of soul agreements and spiritual purposes beyond the personality's understanding.